One step being taken in many cities to reduce emissions from transport is to cut down the number of vehicles on the road, or to make sure that the vehicles present in the city centre are less polluting. Driving bans, congestion charges, and low emission zones are all options that can be used to reduce emissions from road traffic in a city centre. They work by encouraging the use of less polluting vehicles within a city. This is achieved by making it either illegal to enter certain areas with highly polluting vehicles, or by making it more expensive and less attractive to use high-emitting vehicles in the central zones. This encourages individuals and businesses to use sustainable alternatives such as low-emission vehicles, public transport, or active travel, that is, walking or cycling. A low-emission zone, sometimes called a clean air zone, is often designed to target one or two particular types of vehicle, such as buses, trucks, or motorbikes. In the UK, there are 4 different types of clean air zones that restrict different types of vehicle. Deciding which vehicles to include in your low emission zone should be based, if possible, on scientific data showing which vehicle types are the most problematic for your city. An emissions inventory and modelling study could be used to determine which vehicles are the most polluting in the area of the city where you're considering setting restrictions. You'll also need to consider if there will be any exemptions to these restrictions, for example, allowing emergency vehicles, historic vehicles, or disabled passenger vehicles into the zone. In some countries, city authorities have the power to implement driving bans or low emission zones. However, it is more common that cities require permission from the national government to do so. In the UK, changes were made by the national government to existing traffic legislation to provide city authorities with the power to implement clean air zones. Having the support from and working with the national government to develop and implement a low emission zone is vital. Indeed, the successful design and implementation of a clean air zone requires engagement and support from a wide range of partners, including traffic authorities, emergency services, business representatives, and community representatives. Due to the nature of a low emission zone, their success is dependent on setting up controls to enforce the low emission zone and provide a simple, reliable way to collect fees or fines from the vehicles being restricted. Whether large scale or small scale, a low emission zone requires a significant investment in technology as well as maintenance costs. Enforcement methods include automatic number plate recognition or ANPR cameras, used in cities like Singapore and London, or a sticker system as seen in cities in Europe, including Berlin. Clear messaging and promotion are vital in getting the support of local businesses and residents for what can be very ambitious measures to reduce emissions from transport. It's important to ensure that the interests and concerns of everyone affected by the low emission zone are understood and taken into account. The good news is that low emission zones don't just provide air quality and associated health improvements. Wider benefits include reduced traffic congestion and emissions, leading to reduced noise pollution and lower greenhouse gas emissions. Encouraging walking and cycling will also deliver health benefits.